soft spoken, and then he's like, I want to be Paco. We were like,
I was like, no way, dude.
And then we're like, okay, that end scene where he's crying and like relieved, and maybe his brother thinks he's mad, like just self-tape that. And he sent us this end scene, just like you saw in the movie, with like tears and snot and everything. We're like, I guess that's our Paco.
Rebecca, can you talk a little bit, because it sounds like you and Hector, like in the beginning of the process, what did the project mean to sort of flourish and bloom?
I think that it's, Phil is Cuban American, and the script was already really well written, and so, like we're saying, we wanted to bring as much authenticity to the project as possible, having all of Phil's cousins and cousins of cousins and friends of friends and everybody read the script and help give us notes and call out facts, like what is there, what isn't there, and that's kind of how we found Hector as well. So we sent the script to him. But I think that it's the authenticity factor of just call us on our bullshit, like help us make it as if you can, and then I think through the casting process, you let these characters bring so much more to the story.
So Eros, I think that brings us to you.
I was waiting for my
I
question.
know. I wanted to give you an answer. I wanted people to sort of wait, because you're the discovery in the film. Can you talk to us a little bit about how you came into this project?
So I was randomly living my life in Cuba when a friend of mine told me that they were auditioning for a Dominican Republican movie, and I was like, hell no, I don't want to be a part of that. And when I was recording him, his audition, he was like, dude, you're recording me, so you might as well just like send a tape. And I was like, cool, yeah, sure. And I sent that tape, and then the lady called me back, and they were like, hey, they wanna audition you for the lead. And I was freaking out. And after that, I did the audition. 5 days later, they called me back, and I was the happiest guy in the whole country, for real. You have no idea. Every single guy in Cuba just wanted to be involved in this. And when they gave me the call back, dude, was I happy? That was.
I kind of love that you went from the hell no.
We weren't that informed. We weren't that informed, and because the Cuban people weren't supposed to know that this was a topic of the movie. We're not allowed to do that in Cuba. So it's like you go to jail. And basically, when I heard that it was a Dominican Republican movie, that's not the kind of movie that I want to be in. Like, that's not a good picture for me at the moment. And I was like, no, I'm not auditioning. And then these guys changed my life, all of them.
I want to talk a little bit about the elephant in the room, because we're talking in English, and Eros are speaking in English, but the entire movie is set, it's in Spanish. It sounds, for those of us with an ear, we know that other than Alia, everyone is speaking Cuban. Can you talk about the language barrier, right, and how that sort of added in the sense of wanting to be authentic?
I mean, I'll say, I'm very into the sound of movies, maybe even more than the picture. And sometimes when I watch Cuban movies or different Spanish language movies, and you have somebody from Argentina and somebody from Mexico and somebody, they're all like brothers and sisters. It sounds crazy to me. So in addition to wanting to bring on the right people to tell a story to help us tell it better, just wanted the accents to be right. So even Adre got accent coaching, and then we learned Spanish to make the movie. That was one of the good things about the pandemic, is we went method directing and just studied Spanish, and I learned it sort of first on the internet, Duolingo, and then we got a tutor from Venezuela, and then by the time we got to the Dominican Republic, Eros didn't speak a word of English when we shot this movie, so he's learned English very quickly. But they all made fun of me and said I sounded Puerto Rican, which for Cubans, I guess, is not cool. And by the end of the movie, they said at least I sounded Mexican, a little bit cool.
And I think there's something really great about the accents too. as you were saying, like, Adria, she had a dialect coach for 2 sessions maybe, but then when she got to the Dominican and she was with all of our cast, she was like, I have the best teachers around me. And the cast became such a big family, helping everybody out and everything, and like Hector and Adria, like, mentoring a lot of these young actors who was their first film and all over the place. So she was like, I have the best, I don't need to have another teacher, I have the best teachers around me.
Also, I just want to say this because I don't think they will say it, but these guys, is it working? Now it's working.
Yeah.
These guys were just masters. Like Tyler and Mike, they somehow got to communicate with us at an energetic level. It was just like energy benders, and all the time you just felt exactly what they wanted to say to you, even without the need to speak in Spanish. I just want to say that because that's the movie. It's an energy and it's a feeling, and they were giving that to me, to Hector, and to the whole casting all the time.
I like to call us masters because Eros had never seen a movie in a movie theater before. He saw this movie in a movie theater in Miami. We took him to a show. We were like, "I'm going to show you the movie." And we brought him in a movie theater, like a quarter of the size. He's like, "It's a real movie theater." I'm like, "Yeah, haven't you been in one?" He was like, "Never." Never been in a movie theater. And I'm like, "Do you think we're masters?" I've seen one movie in a movie theater.
Energy master.
Thank you. Oh, that's master of energy.
I like to talk about energy because I wanted to talk to both to Eros and Hector about these characters. I think maybe we start with Paco, who's very, I think energetic might be sort of a downplaying sort of. And as we see you here sitting down, you're very quiet. But Paco is not quiet. Paco is not. Where did you find Paco? Where did he come from?
Thank you. See. They made it. They made Paco, and then they, Mike and Tyler helped me to build the character. We work a lot. I had to practice learn how to play electric guitar, lost weight, and work out a lot. And I remember Tyler all the time saying to me, I want a wolf, and see, we work a lot, we build the character, and I think there is 2 important things in the character is be hungry and anger all the time, and then
So you starved yourself to be hungry.
It's like being in Cuba, hungry and anger all the time.
Sorry. And in my case, I would say, I don't think I really find the character. I like to see it in the way, I like to see it like he found me, because the more I read the script, the more I had these little voices in my head, like whispering what I should do in this moment or in the other one. And I just kept doing that, And I think that slowly, by the time I got to the Dominican Republic to shoot the movie, I was already the role, and then I was just a dancer ready to dance in the, how do you say that? Like,
On the dance floor.
on the dance floor that this guy built for me. And
You were like exactly their prom.
and I think that's the way it happened. Then the connection with my brother from the very first call, I just knew that it was gonna work. And with everyone else, I think they really put on the work to make us feel like we were the characters and created all the circumstances for us to like be in role, even when we weren't there shooting all the time. Like we were living in this hotel, we were roommates, all of us. That was the sanatorium right at that time. It was like, it just happened, For us as an actor, I experienced that as it just happened, but really they kind of like made it happen, and I'm very grateful for that.
We like to be vibe curators. I think that's a better way to direct is like, we'll just play music while we're setting up, or I think it's important to just be a vibe curator, and then it usually translates into the scenes.
The relationships have like kept going too. Like these guys, when they're sitting together or any time together, they are those brothers you see on screen, constantly like poking and like, it's just beautiful to watch
I'm too
how
big
big
for
of a
these
family.
Too pretty to be his brother.
I want to talk about building this figure of sort of dance floor, because we have this sanatorium and we're sort of in the outdoors. But I was reading a little bit about sort of the attention to detail when it came to props and when it came to building those sets. Can we talk a little bit about what?
Yeah, this is the geek stuff. I love this
Yes,
stuff.
yes.
So in Cuba in 1991, like you wouldn't be able to get a Fender guitar. You wouldn't be able to get something in the United States through the embargo. So we got Japanese guitars from 1982. We got a Russian bass. We got Russian drums and all these things, and then like pumped them up and painted them. And then the buildings, like we had a crazy good crew, like production designer that came in and built the barn in a week, and he built the bungalows in another week. And there were things like very specific, the type of wood that was used for the bungalows, and then the DP would come in and be like, I want a little bit more space between, so there's more light leaking through and it looks cooler. They'd rip all the siding off and then put it back on. Like the attention to detail that the crew did was so cool to watch, because it also happened really fast. It happened in like 4 or 5 weeks.